What's up, everybody? My name is Logan Strome. Welcome to CTF Strome Talks Football. Today I wanted to take the time to recap and rank all the QBs this season and how they did. So basically we're going to do a tier list style. So we're going to rank every single quarterback based on how well they did this season, and we're just going to rank them against each other. So let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all that away, let's get started. So here we are at the tier list here. So I got it in 5 different categories. At the very top we've got elite. Below that we've got above average. Below that we've got solid. Below that we've got not that good. And at the bottom we've got trash / backup. Also, another thing to note, we're not going to be counting their stats in their playoff games, only by the regular season. So if one of these quarterbacks did not play well in the regular season and just is lighting it up in the playoffs, we're not going to count that. We're going to go based off their performance in the regular season. Alright, so let's get started. The first one we've got is Caleb Williams, and I'm going to put him in solid. He wasn't that bad this season. It's not fully his fault that the Bears just were completely ass this year. Honestly, there were some things he can work on, but that's how it is for every single rookie. Like, he's a rookie quarterback. I think people are forgetting that he's a rookie on a shitty Bears team. Well, we thought they were going to be better, but still, shitty Bears team with shitty coaching. And, like, I just think people are just being too harsh on him. Like, 3,500 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. That's not bad. Like, it could have been a lot worse. And honestly, even though he only had a passer rating of 87.8, like, it's honestly not that bad as it could have been. It could have been a lot worse. Like, they've seen a lot worse. So, I think Justin Fields will be better in the future. So, don't count him out yet. Up next, we've got Tommy DeVito, and I don't know how a backup can be more overrated as him, but Giants fans talk this guy up like he's the next Tom Brady, dude. Like, I don't get it. Like, dude, he's not that good. Just suck it up. Up next, we've got Drake May. Man, this one's tough. A part of me wants to put him in solid, but for now, I'm going to put him in not that good because even though he did start late and, like, he was in a even worse team as Caleb Williams was, like, he just did not throw it for well. Like, he did show flashes of greatness with his passing and even his mobility, but there were some passes where you question, like, what are you doing? Like, again, he's a rookie. It's his first year. If the Patriots get some offensive line help and some weapons for him to throw to, I think he will be a lot better. Congrats to his engagement, by the way. Up next, we've got Joe Flacco. Now, usually I would put him in the backup tier, but honestly, he played a lot more games than as I thought he would. So I'm going to put him in not that good. He really was not that good when he played. Like, I feel like that season he had with the Browns was kind of an insanity run. Probably will never happen again. I love Joe Flacco, but he's just cooked, man. This might be his last season. Up next, we've got Justin Fields. Now, just like Joe Flacco, I would usually put him in the backup tier because now he is a backup. But he did start a good amount of games before they decided to start Russell Wilson. And when he did start, he was pretty solid. Like, he didn't throw for that much. He only threw for 5 touchdowns. But he did only throw 1 interception. He hardly turned over the ball. Like, he was pretty good. I was impressed with him. Up next, we've got Bryce Young. Man, he was solid, dude. The end of this season really turned his career around. He looked really good. 15 touchdowns, 9 picks. Like, his first few weeks made you ask, like, if his NFL days were over. But he turned around his season so quick at the end of the year. Like, if the Panthers can just get him some weapons, he might have something. Like, I should not be rooting for this dude because I'm a Saints fan, but, like, for some weird reason I am. I like Bryce Young. Up next, we've got Sam Howell. He's a backup. I used to still argue that he should get another shot, but he did, like, play at the end of the game when Geno Smith got hurt. And he just reminded us of why he's the backup in the first place, so never mind on that. Up next, we've got Patrick Mahomes. Now, hear me out. I'm not just saying this because I hate him. It has nothing to do with hatred with the dude. But he's not elite this season. He's above average, and let me tell you why. Mahomes threw for 3,900 passing yards. He threw for 26 touchdowns and threw 11 picks. Like, that's not bad, but that's some of the worst numbers he's put up. Like, that's not elite numbers. That's above average, but not elite. Now, one thing we can say about him is that he tends to light it up in the postseason. But again, we're not counting the postseason. This is regular season. And his regular season was not elite. It was above average. Up next, we've got Aaron Rodgers. Now, usually I would put him in not that good. But when, like, you look at his stats, they are so similar to Mahomes, it's insane. So, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I'm going to put him in above average just because Both of these stats are just so similar to each other. The only difference is that Mahomes threw for a little bit more yards, but Rodgers threw a couple more touchdowns. Like, they threw the same amount of interceptions. They have almost the same passer rating. Like, that's just proving my point more about Mahomes, that he wasn't elite. Like, if you're getting compared to Aaron Rodgers, old-ass Aaron Rodgers in a season, like, that's not good, man. But also at the same time, I feel like Aaron Rodgers should not be up here. I feel like I'm overrating him immensely just because, like, he's cooked. Like, he's nowhere near as good as he used to be, and of course he's good. He's a loudmouth like he's always been. Like, nobody likes the guy. Everyone wants him gone from New York, and he probably will. Actually, I'm not gonna put him in above average. That's way too generous. He's solid. Like, even though these two numbers are way too similar, like, Mahomes is still a great quarterback. He's just held to a higher standard. Like, come on, dude. Up next, we've got Bailey Zappi. He's a backup for a reason. He's now the backup for Cleveland, and he played the last game of the season and was absolutely garbage. Up next, we've got Tua Tagovailoa. Now, hear me out. I'm going to put him in solid just because he is still a pretty decent quarterback. But once we've said this for a couple of seasons now. This dude is extremely limited, and you have to, like, pray whenever he's running the ball that he doesn't get a concussion. Which, it happens way too much. Like, usually any quarterback that's gotten a concussion as much as he has would try to would question if he should be playing. Now, I know he has the love for the game, which I admire, but honestly, for his safety, like, he's got to think about retirement soon, because if he gets another concussion, like, that's going to be bad. But overall, good season. Up next, we've got Will Levis. Now, we can finally say we have a trash quarterback, because holy crap was he awful, dude. His decision-making is probably the worst in football right now. He can't throw well. Like, he can throw a deep ball, but not accurately. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Like, last season, he showed a lot of promise. And then this season, he just came out and just looked horrible. Like, it was so bad. Up next, we've got Russell Wilson. Now, like, when he started up here, and then now he's just, like, down here. Like, it's a match in heaven. Like, Russell Wilson's done this his entire career, and same with the Steelers, like, the last 5 years. Like, where they start off extremely hot, but at the end of the year, they start cooling down, and then make you think, why are they even a playoff team, or why are they ranked as high as they are? Like, it's kind of crazy. And even though I still like Russell Wilson, I still think he's talented. It's just the fact that, like, once, like, he gets people way too hyped when he starts off really good, and then he just ends it so disappointing. Up next, we've got Kyler Murray. I ranked this guy way too high in my quarterback rating half season. But that's the thing. He did the Russell Wilson trend. He started off really hot, and then, like, the second half of the season, he ended extremely average, dude. I can't even, like, I'll put him in solid just because I feel like if I put him in not that good, Cardinals fans would attack me. But, dude, he did not end the season well. Like, he just could not throw as good. He had a hard time getting out of the pocket. Like, he just started really well and ended the season very poorly. Up next, we've got Jared Goff. Now, I feel like I'm safe to put him in elite, like, right? Like, dude, he was really good this season. Like, 4,629 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 12 picks. Like, that's really good numbers. Like, I know the Lions have the best offensive line in football. They have insanely good weapons, but if you watch Jared Goff actually play, like, ignoring everything else, like, he's a really good quarterback, guys. Like, he's a really good quarterback. Up next, we've got Daniel Jones. Now, this is one quarterback you can say is trash and backup at the same time, because he started off ass, lost his job, and now he's the backup for the Vikings. Like, and he will probably be a backup for the rest of his career, which he deserves because he sucks. Up next, we've got Trevor Lawrence. I should be putting this dude in trash, but I don't know why. Like, a little of me still believes in this dude, but I'm going to put him in not that good. He was not that good this season at all. I know the whole team has been an absolute mess this season, and I know he got injured towards the second half of the season. But even when he has been playing the last 2 seasons, like, he's just gotten worse and worse. Like, I don't know what's going on with him, but I hope he can get that straightened out, because he's been playing some bad football. Up next, we've got Derek Carr. Now, I'm putting him in trash, dude. Like, I have no sympathy for this dude. Like, he can't throw under pressure to save his life. He can't lead a team for shit. Like, he's not a good quarterback. Like, I know we've had a horrible coach this whole season, and we've been riding with, like, a replacement coach the second half of the season. Our team's just been an absolute mess, but Derek Carr's not helped it. He plays like shit, and then he gets hurt, like at least 2 or 3 times in a season. Like he's not reliable at all. Up next we've got Tyrod Taylor. I forgot this dude was in the league. Next. Up next we've got Kirk Cousins. Man, this one is sad, but I have to put him in not that good. Dude, it sucks because he had a lot of flaws at the start of the year, but he still looked pretty decent. But this second half of the season, he was abysmal. Like I couldn't tell if he was just injured the whole season, why he like threw so badly, or he's just getting to the age. Like I don't get it. Like I know the Falcons aren't the best team, and honestly, I have no clue how their offensive line is, but dude, he just was so underwhelming. Hopefully, he can find some more success on a different team if they do decide to trade him. But dude, it was just sad to see this because Kirk Cousins is one of my favorite quarterbacks, but maybe he is getting up there in age. Like he just was not good this season. Up next, we've got Lamar Jackson, absolutely elite, one of the best quarterbacks in football. 4,100 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, only 4 picks, and a passer rating of 119.5. Like, absolutely elite. Probably the best season he's ever put up. This is the MVP-like season he should have had last season. Like, this is MVP numbers, not whatever he had last season. He was good last season, but not like this. This season, his passing has gotten many steps up of what he used to be. He's elite. One of the best quarterbacks in football. Up next, we've got Jordan Love. Man, he really regressed. I'll put him in solid, but he was not that good. Like, he's been creating such a bad turnover habit. Like, he's been having a hard time throwing under pressure. Like, I know he's still a good quarterback, but he just had a down year. I'm hoping it was just a down year, but this season, he was not that good. Up next, we've got Brock Purdy. Same thing with Jordan Love. He would usually be up here, but he really did not play that good this season. I know the Niners were heavily injured this season, and I know their coaching was surprisingly pretty bad. But Brock Purdy just, again, was throwing a lot more turnovers. He was having a hard time throwing under pressure, which is usually one of his strengths. But yeah, like, he's a good quarterback still, but probably a down year. But he does deserve to get paid. Up next, we've got Matthew Stafford, above average. He was really good this season, especially with how he was decent last season, but he wasn't great. Like he threw for around 4,000 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, hardly turned over the ball. He was very clean when he threw the ball too. Like he was a really good quarterback this season. I was impressed. Next, we've got Justin Herbert. Now, I'm really going to try to ignore the playoff performance because, wow, but overall this season, he was above average. Like, if you just ignore the playoff performance he had, you will see that he did play really well. He hardly turned over the ball, like, in the regular season. But, yeah, he was a really good quarterback, and he was the main reason why the Chargers made it to the playoffs in the first place, other than Jim Harbaugh. Up next, we've got Zach Wilson. He's a backup for a reason. He was trash in New York, and he will probably be trash for the rest of his career. Up next, we've got Aiden O'Connell. Now, again, usually I would put him in the backup column because he is a backup, but at the same time, I'm still going to put him in here because he was trash. Like, he's been trash the whole time. Like, he can't throw under pressure. He could hardly throw a good ball. Like, he's not a good quarterback at all. Up next, we've got Geno Smith. Now, I'll put him in solid because he did have a solid season, but he's so inconsistent. Like, there's games where he'll light it up and he looks really good, and then there's still those games where he looks underwhelming. Like he'll have a game like against the Rams, like one of the games, like he'll throw really well, and then he'll have a game against like the Bears where he didn't do shit and the Seahawks barely won. Like, I don't know. I still like Geno Smith. He's still a decent quarterback, but he is very inconsistent. Up next, we've got Jaden Daniels. Ooh, do I do it? I think I do it. He's an elite quarterback. He was really damn good this season. I know he's a rookie, and I know his stats on paper might not look the greatest, but the fact that he's a rookie quarterback playing for a Commanders team that has always never been impressive at all, and he's just taken them to this new height that they haven't seen since probably 2005. Like, it's honestly incredible. Like, 25 touchdowns, only 9 picks, like, might not be the most impressive stats on paper, but the chemistry he's created with Terry McLaurin, the fact he's been able to carry this team to the playoffs, and I know we're not counting playoffs, but at the same time, led this team to their first playoff win since 2005. Really good stuff. He should definitely win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's incredible. Up next, we've got Jalen Hurts. Now, I'll put him in above average because he was pretty damn good this season, but I will say this about him, and I hope people don't attack me for this. Like, he will never be his 2022 self. Like, it seems like every single season he plays, he's like slowly gets worse and worse and worse. Like he's still a good quarterback, but like nowhere near as good as he used to be. Like I fear that he regresses more. Next we've got Joe Burrow. He's probably the best quarterback in football right now. Like he was elite. He put up elite numbers, and it's a shame that the Bengals didn't make the playoffs. Like the fact Joe Burrow almost threw for 5,000 passing yards, threw for 43 touchdowns, only threw 9 picks, and the fact that the Bengals did not make the playoffs with like a quarterback that's having the best season of his career like that, like that's the reason why we saw as many coaches get fired as we did. Like Joe Burrow had an incredible season, and the Bengals gave him nothing in return. Like it's a shame. Up next, we've got Deshaun Watson. I'm not going to get into this much. Like, we already know how ass he is. We already know how he's going to be the rest of his career. Next, we've got Anthony Richardson. Now, people might not agree with me on this one, but this, like, I've had it. Anthony Richardson is ass, dude. He's so inconsistent. Like, he might dazzle you with a beautiful throw, like, down the middle, like, deep downfield. And then next time, he'll throw, like, a stupidly bad interception. Like, he's so inconsistent. He always gets hurt. He even had a point in the season where he quit on his team. Like, with that kind of leadership, like with that kind of attitude, how can you have him as a leader? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not for Anthony Richardson. Like, I just do not like him at all. He's ass. Next, we've got Sam Darnold. Now, I talked about this a little more on Tuesday, but I will repeat again. I still think he was definitely above average this season. He definitely improved, but if you put the brightest lights on over this dude, he will fall apart. Like, he cannot perform under the brightest lights, just like Kirk Cousins. It definitely doesn't take away from the fact that Sam Darnold had an incredible season. Like, he made the Pro Bowl. Like, he reached heights that he was never able to on any other team he's played for. But if you're looking for, like, better success, like farther success, Sam Darnold might not be your guy. Like, even under a great coach like Kevin O'Connell. Like, again, good quarterback, but if you put the brightest lights under him, he will fall apart. Next, we've got C.J. Stroud, solid. He really did not play that well this season. Like, in a sophomore season where he was expected to be even better than his rookie season, like, he definitely regressed. Like, I still hope that this was just a down year, but man, this season he was really underwhelming. Again, ignoring the playoff performance, he did play a lot better in that game, but regular season, like, he was not that good. Up next, we've got Josh Allen, just like Joe Burrow, probably one of the best quarterbacks in football, probably the best quarterback in football. His ability to pass as well as he does, his ability to run the ball as well as he does, and the ability he has to lead his team is honestly incredible. Like, it's just one of those times where you look back at 2018 and 2019 where he was just first in the league. He was not that good. We had doubts about him. And then he got the right coaching, and he just blossomed into this amazing quarterback that we were able to watch every single season. I love Josh Allen. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league, and I desperately hope he wins the Super Bowl this year. Up next, we've got Dak Prescott. Now, I know he's been injured this season, but even when he played, he was not that good. I'll still put him in solid because I don't want Cowboys fans to attack me, but like, I really don't think Dak Prescott's that good. I think got like, absolutely overpaid when as much as he did. I think he's completely overrated, and I just do not think he's the right quarterback for the Cowboys. Next, we've got Baker Mayfield. Now, he's definitely above average this season. Like, the more and more seasons he's played on Tampa, the more he's improved. Like, you have to go back to how he was when he first started, just like Josh Allen. He showed flashes of greatness, but there were a lot of flaws. He got screwed by the Browns because they went for Deshaun Watson, which ended up being one of the worst decisions they've ever made and in NFL history. So he went to the Panthers, was absolutely terrible. People thought his career was over. And then he got a second chance in Tampa, and he just lit it up. Like, now he's one of the better quarterbacks in football, and he's one of the most fan-favorite quarterbacks in football. I like Baker Mayfield. Up next, we've got Michael Penix. Now, I'm not going to judge him too harshly. I'll just put him in solid because I don't think it's, like, really safe to say to judge him all that much. He only played for a few games, and we'll have to judge him a little more next season. Now, I do think he is better than all four of these, obviously, but, like, he won't go any higher. Up next, we've got J.J. McCarthy. Now, like, well, I'll just put him down here for now. Like, he got injured during the preseason. Like, we can't judge him too harshly yet. It's kind of crazy thinking that we thought the Vikings were screwed when they had to use Sam Darnold, and that wasn't the case. But spoiler alert, after that playoff game, it's probably a safe decision to say that J.J. McCarthy will be the starting QB for the Vikings. And finally, the last one we've got is Bo Nix. I'll put him in solid. He definitely was impressive this season. But the Broncos fans are trying to say he's the next, like, the second coming of Jesus Christ. Need to calm the hell down. Like, there were definitely flaws with this dude. His ability to run is really impressive, and he does make some good throws, but he also makes throws making you question, why did he even get drafted in the first round? Like, again, he's a rookie. He was definitely good this season. But Broncos fans are overhyping this man a little bit too much. You guys need to settle down. And there you guys have it. That was my NFL quarterback end of the season tier list. I will give you one last look at this. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know down below if what you agreed with and disagreed with. Let me know down in the comments on what you would change. I would love to know. That is where I'm going to be done for today. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.